The following is a message on behalf of Oh No and Streamline Mortgage Solutions.
See, I told you it would be like this.
I just didn't know. I was doing my best.
Yeah, well, I told you, you stupid idiot. If you wanted a good rate on a mortgage or wanted to explore the super low interest rates right now, you should have called Streamline.
Why?
Seriously, I told you. You can get it all done at home over the phone or online. Just call them at 407-898-4477 or visit streamlineflorida.com. You see, you made the biggest mistake, underestimating the power of saving money. We could have made millions together had you not jeopardized our love and chosen to use another mortgage company. We could have had our jet skis.
I know.
If you're thinking about buying or refinancing your home in Florida, please check out Streamline Mortgage Solutions at streamlineflorida.com or give them a call again at 407-898-4477. They will let you know if it's the right financial decision for you and your family, as Brian Zymel and his team pride themselves on providing the best customer service in the industry.
Just let them know that Oh No sent ya. Oh.
What's gonna happen? Oh my God! We have a new champion!
Welcome back to another edition of the Oh No Wrestling Podcast. It is episode number 96. God, I can't believe we've been doing it that long. And say it every week, but it's just, we're coming up on 100, Duncan. We're coming up on 100.
Hunsky.
I know. It's crazy. We might have to do something special for the 100th episode.
Maybe.
If this is your first time listening, I am your Shark Break Kid. My name is Owen, and along with me is the king of Bong Style, Duncan. Unfortunately, our good friend Matthew the Marade Maharaja is not able to join us. Our champion can't even be bothered.
He retained it. He's like, you know what? I don't need to be there.
I don't need to
Fuck
be
you
there.
guys.
Yeah, what a jabron.
Or maybe we're the jabrones.
We're the jabrones because we don't have a good job like he does, and
or even a bad job.
or even a bad job. That being said, though, we have a great show in store for you. Maybe he'll join us a little bit later. I kind of doubt it because he is slammed with holiday work, and you know how that goes. But we're gonna do a little bit of TLC recap. We're gonna talk about the goings on of everything in both WWE and AEW, and maybe even a little Impact.
Ooh.
And yeah, we've also I've got a couple gripes, to go through as well. So we might even have to
Something's really grinding your gears.
Something's really scratching my craw. Is that a term?
Whoa.
Is that even a term? I don't even.
I think it's you got something stuck in your craw.
Stuck in my craw.
Yeah.
What's a craw? I don't even know what a craw is.
I think it's your mouth, but
Is that it? That's like
we're gonna
some New Orleans thing or something. I think. Isn't it?
fucking yeah. You trying to understand Creole shit?
Not even gonna bother. Not even gonna
Nah.
bother. No. I do want to talk about again. We'll get into some TLC recap in just a second. But one of the things that was interesting this week that has been popping up in the news is and I think it came from even Ric Flair was the one that sort of leaked this. But the possibility again, and they've talked about this for years. I know we've talked about it, but the possibility of a physical WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, I hadn't heard this.
Yeah, so old man Flair kind of let it leak that the WWE wanted and have like basically purchased back one of his robes, and for this specific purpose of doing a WWE Hall of Fame, which is interesting.
It is.
I know that when the rumors came up, I want to say it was a year or two ago, like this was discussed, maybe even longer.
It was a couple years ago because originally we had thought that the old NBA city
At City Walk at Universal Orlando.
Yeah, exactly. At Universal Studios.
Mm-hmm.
That was originally rumored back when. Was it back when Mania? It was.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was
when Mania was here.
So yeah, 33. Like that's when we were talking about it. But it seems like maybe that idea has respawned itself again. And I, for one, I think it could be a bit of a hit. Like I do think there's potential there. Like that could be a destination for a lot of wrestling fans.
Well, where are you going to put it?
Yeah, I mean Orlando is the logical place.
It is the logical place because it already has a lot of people coming here anyway.
Yep.
That will make that part of their vacation.
And again, like there's the partnership, like USA and the whole like Universal group sort of have their ties together. So a Universal City Walk type thing would be fitting. I can also see it like ending up on, if you're familiar with Orlando, one of our big tourist strips is called International Drive, or I Drive as we call it. I could see it finding its way somewhere down there.
I could see it somewhere on I Drive. I could see it somewhere. I mean, maybe 192.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too far out the way, and
it is. I think that City Walk would be a perfect
City
place
Walk
for
is the very logical place for it, and I think it would be a smart idea to do. It's either you do it here or you do it. I mean, I don't think Stamford, Connecticut doesn't exactly work for me. You maybe do it in Vegas. Like Vegas would work,
I guess, but does Vegas have the WWE ties that would draw?
Not really.
Like
AEW has more ties in Vegas, to be honest, than WWE does. So, I think Orlando is the logical fit. That or Tampa.
Sure. I think Florida is basically
100%.
Yeah, Florida's the fit.
Unless they try and, what was it called back in the day? Remember they did the WWE thing, or
Times Square.
The Times Square thing, and they did it in
WWF New York is what it was called.
Yes, thank you. I guess they could try and do that again, but that seems like it would be a shit ton of money for them, and the safer bet is here, is I guess what I'm saying.
Dude, Times Square is fucking expensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
Dude, Times Square is so expensive.
Like
and
$1 million a month or something stupid like that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's for your prime real estate.
Yeah.
That you need to bring enough people in. The thing about Times Square is a lot of Times Square are just stores, right? That you can go into. You don't have to pay admission to get into them.
Right.
So, and then like your your theaters and stuff are kind of off Times Square, like they shoot off a little bit. So the problem with them doing it in Times Square is I just don't think they're going to get enough
Foot
return on their investment.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They'll get a lot of foot traffic, but if you have to pay to get in the door, people aren't necessarily going to like, especially what you'd have to charge to make it worth it.
Yeah.
Right? Like most people aren't going to pay $25 to $50.
Well, and that's an interesting point too. Like if they were to do it somewhere at like a city walk or what have you, where you're already kind of paying to go into the theme parks, you already got to pay for parking. Would they make
City
it
Walk would be a different story, I think. Because I think if they could get the foot traffic that City Walk brings in on a normal day, pandemic aside, like right now, fucking place is packed.
They might not even have to charge an admission. And
no, as long as their gift shop is selling enough.
Yeah, you have like you do it like an exhibit sort of thing that gets people in the door, and they walk around it, and then of course exit through the gift shop.
Exit through retail.
Right.
You always exit through retail.
Yeah, I mean that's the theme park way, honestly. But
100%.
Yeah, I mean that would be the way to do it, and that would be a cool. It would be a cool thing because WWE doesn't have a standalone, like of course they've got the WWE Shop online, but they don't have a physical location that you can just go and buy merch.
No.
Apart from Mania Access live events, which let's be honest,
don't exist right now.
Don't exist. So this would be a nice kind of like circumventing of that situation for them, and they'd probably be able to push a lot more merch than they are currently, because I'm imagining that their merch sales are far lower than in years past.
Well, yeah, dude, because you get the impulse purchases at the live events.
Yeah.
Because live events, you get a lot of people that get like $20 tickets and go with their friends, and they're just like, oh, fuck it, man, let's just go. And then they see somebody that they're like, and they're like, you know what, man, I'm gonna buy that dude's t-shirt. And they do.
Yeah.
And
let me get that fiend mask, or whatever it is. Like especially if you've got kids and you're taking kids to the show.
Yeah.
They're all gonna
especially if you're a little buzzed up. Like,
yeah. I mean, we've all done it. We've all done it.
We have all done it.
Yeah.
We have all seen the amount of bullshit that says WrestleMania 33 on that.
I wasn't about to spend $150, but shit, I just did. God damn.
I just did.
Yeah.
Didn't even mean to. Totally did. It's because the t-shirts are like $40 fucking a piece. It's like going to a goddamn Kiss concert.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very good. Yeah, it's very apt.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about TLC.
Yes.
Ultimately, overall, it was a very decent pay-per-view, and they've been doing quite well over WWE's done a lot of good over its last few pay-per-views. I think they've
agree.
Actually, I don't want to say they've necessarily listened to the fans, but what they have done is they provided actual good wrestling matches, which is something that prior to 2020 they hadn't really been doing as a majority of their pay-per-views. It was more storyline driven and less about wrestling. And yes, there's of course a lot of storyline going on in like these latest pay-per-views, but there have been standout actual like really good wrestling matches, and that makes me happy. I
think it makes all of us as like actual wrestling fans happy. Also, they're still storytelling, but they're storytelling through matches again,
which is what we have always said. Like, it's not that difficult. It's
no.
You don't have to have 20 minutes of promo segments to get the story across. You can do it within the context of a squared circle. And that is what I know myself. That's what I love about wrestling, is when a story can be told. And the best matches of all time have been, and best feuds of all time have been told in that manner. I mean, you think about like the Bret Hart Stone Cold back in the day, like the double turn and all these things that really they didn't happen on a microphone. Yes, I love a great promo, but it happened in the ring.
The double turn happened in the ring, but the seeds were planted on the microphone, right? Like, so it's good payoff. So not only are you giving me a good build, but then you're actually giving me a good payoff for it, which is what they haven't been doing for the longest time.
Yeah, it seemed like they forgot how to do it or didn't care how to do it for a while.
Or they were just trying to micromanage the talent too much and not let them just be what got them to the WWE in the first place.
Yeah.
But it was funny because last month... Right. But like last month, it was Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
And we were just like, that was the best main roster pay-per-view they've done all fucking year.
Absolutely.
And then I would say that this one was better than Hell in a Cell.
I'd agree with that. I mean, I thought it was a bold move to start with Drew and AJ as the first match of the actual main card. Great match.
Banger.
Unfortunate. I mean, it was great really until the Miz cash-in. And the Miz cash-in is man, it makes me sad a little bit because I have a soft spot for the Miz. I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for.
Miz.
Yeah,
we know that.
But it was clear that the original plan for the Money in the Bank briefcase with Otis did not go down as they kind of expected. And this just felt like, all right, we got to do something just to kind of delete this this mistake. Yeah, thank you. This mistake that we've made. And unfortunately, you know, the Miz was kind of the one to, you know, I guess be the martyr in this situation in a lot of ways, in my opinion.
It was so bad though. Like it didn't need to be like that.
It didn't.
That's the thing that really sort of bothered me, is that it was forced.
Yes, forced is a very good way to put it. Yeah.
And it was forced for no reason.
Yep. Yeah.
And then what did they do last night? It was the Miz said that, oh well, I didn't cash it in. Morrison cashed it in so I should get it back because I didn't technically cash it in.
I didn't even see that, honestly, but yeah, I didn't know that happened.
That. I won't pretend that I watch Raw live.
Yeah, no. Does anybody?
I mean, if you look at the ratings, no.
Yeah, exactly.
If you listen to the dirt sheets and listen to, you know, the rumors of USA handing them their ass for such low ratings.
But yeah, I felt bad for him. I feel like the Miz, like, I don't know. I think the John Morrison thing needs to go.
What was the point of that? I love John Morrison, and the Miz and Morrison were good back together at first, but like, what's the point now?
It doesn't
Let those two have a split up feud, whatever.
Yeah. Would you turn Miz face?
I don't. Here's the thing about Miz being face. You can't script that.
It has to come naturally, much in the same way the whole thing that organically happened with Talking Smack a couple years back, where all of a sudden he actually had fan support and I cut like one of the best promos of his career, if not the best.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately, that was the only kind of like black mark on that match. I like Omos. Like, I think Omos as AJ's like bodyguard was cool, or whatever, that his associate or whatever they call him. I really
you can't say bodyguard because it makes him look like a bitch.
True.
I mean, it doesn't make him look like a bitch, but like that's the mentality.
Yes, correct. But I did enjoy the match as a whole. I am happy that Drew retained. I did for a few minutes there think like, oh no, like they're gonna strip they're gonna do it. They're gonna take it off him. And I didn't really. Here's the thing about the Miz thing. Not for a minute did I think that the Miz was gonna get a successful cash in. It really didn't feel that believable to me that he was gonna do it. It felt like he was set up to fail from the get go. And what I did think would possibly happen is that they would put the strap on AJ, which I wouldn't have been mad about, but I do think it would have cheapened McIntyre's run, which in my opinion has been phenomenal. I have really enjoyed it. And that dude, we talked about it last night. That dude is just so jacked, man. Like, he is scary jacked.
He is. Well, here's the thing, like, but he already lost his title once. Like, it's not like he's been
that's true. That's true.
So meh, you know. I'm sort of 50-50 on that one, I guess.
Okay. Sure.
I would have liked to see AJ win just because I like it when AJ's the champ because he can have great matches with anybody.
Yeah.
Not that Drew can't, but I don't think the matches carry the impact pun maybe intended that they do when AJ is, you know, like when AJ's in a match with somebody, because AJ is just, Drew's good, AJ is great.
That's a very good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it.
He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer when he decides that he's done wrestling. He is like he says, he's phenomenal, and he fucking is,
and
man.
He is. Credit where credit's due. Like, especially for his age, that the stuff that he's still doing is mind blowing.
And the bumps that he's taken when Drew yoked him out of the ring.
Good God,
right? He was just like yeet, and like AJ barely hit the table.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he
like,
skirted
I was
it.
Like, holy, he over yoked him.
Yeah.
Like he, and just watching AJ take the bump, I'm like, bro, like your fucking hip is not meant to hit like that.
Aren't you almost 50? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, come on, man.
Like, I'm almost 40, and I looked at that shit, and I'm just like, no. I was like, let me take an 800 milligram ibuprofen just watching that shit. Like, no, sir.
What was the next match on the card? Was it?
Oh, I got you.
Was it Sasha Carmella?
It sure was.
Yeah.
Sasha Carmella with Reginald Thomas.
Oh, this was great. Okay, so first off, a couple notes on this. Carmella has really impressed me as of late, and just the growth that she has undergone in the last couple of years. She was somebody that I detested back in the day, and I really didn't think she was a very great worker either.
Yep.
But she has 100% turned that around for me, and I was at points really wanting her to win. They put on, Sasha and Carmella put on a real low key fire match. Like, this
it was the low key match of the night.
It was. It wasn't the match. It wasn't the match of the night. It was probably the second. It was second best match of the night.
Slept on match of the night. And it was the. I think for me, my match of the night was Roman KO.
Absolutely. I was going to say that later down the road, but
I mean, we'll get there, but I think then it was Sasha Carmella, just because it was like, they didn't give him that long, but it was only 12 minutes.
It was the right amount of time though. It was for those two.
But it was, dude, you're absolutely right about Carmella's improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she has, it's like the improvement that Roman's made,
without a doubt. And it's carried, and it's both wrestling ability and character work. But to me, it's more character work than anything. Like, I believe in Carmella's character, and I think that she's doing it right. She's absolutely doing it right. I love the addition of our buddy, friend of Oh No Wrestling. His name. I mean, can we say his real name? I don't know if we want to. I don't know.
We'll just keep it kayfabe.
We'll call him. He's Akeem Young.
Akeem Young.
In the NXT universe,
right? But now known as the sommelier, Reginald Thomas.
Reginald Thomas.
So he changed all of his social media stuff to be Reginald Thomas.
Did he?
So,
I didn't see that yet. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I think Reginald is it for
a while,
a minute. So,
and
but
I'm cool with
still,
it. Like I actually kind of like it.
I kind of, dude, I Loki, not just because he's my boy, right? Like not just because, but because it's a fun gimmick.
Yes, it is.
Right, and it's a good addition to Carmella.
It is.
It gives her that sort of like rich, snobby, just that next little thing that her character needs.
Yep.
And I fucking love it. And I will say, he did so good. Like
he did.
The women did their best to steal the show in the 12 minutes that they had. They told a story. It was a good story. There was tension. I believed for a minute that I was just like, maybe it's Carmella's night, right? Maybe. I didn't want it to be Carmella's night until the match started.
Yeah, she turned us all around. And one thing about our boy Reginald is, like, this is his first chance on a real main stage like this on a pay-per-view. And I'll say that he did fantastic of knowing where he needed to be and was slick as hell when he caught Carmella. And expect to see more from this guy because
most definitely.
I know he texts you quite frequently, and I believe that he even said that he got some props from Flair backstage.
That's what he said. He's like, he came up to him. He's just like, "You're the sommelier." He's like, "You take great bumps. You got a good look." Like it just like flaring on him, and I'm just like, bro, I got goosebumps when he was telling me about it. I was just like, you fucking
I feel like that guy
right there.
Well, that guy might know what he's talking about too.
He might
be able to see, when people are talented and
exactly
and be able to point it out. So
yeah,
kudos to him.
I'm really excited for him, and the fact that he has only been in the WWE system for less than a year,
and he's already on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, granted, not in the ring, but dude, like he's on a paper. He took a flying Meteora off the ring apron from Sasha, and it was money.
Yeah,
like
it was a hard-looking bump too.
Yeah. Every when a couple weeks ago when he got that bank statement into the code, the backstabber into the bank statement, somebody was just like, "How'd that backstabber feel?" And he was like, "It hurt."
Yeah, real.
That
hurt. Shit real.
Like,
yeah, no way.
I was like, I bet. Like, Sasha. So it was a great match. It was good to see a friend
involved.
Yeah, and like look good doing it.
Yeah,
make a positive impact. Like.
Well, we're all rooting for him over here at ONO Wrestling, and hopefully we can get him on the show with
we will. I think in the new year it'll be a little bit easier to make it happen. We'll get him in and interviewed with our man Reginald.
Yeah.
And dude, it was so hilarious too because Graves is just like, "Excellent job, Reginald," and I was like, Reginald?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he said it again. He's just like, "That's Reginald. He's the sommelier. He is a man of many talents." And I was just like, "Oh, okay, he's Reginald now. We're referred to him by a name on camera, so okay, it's Reginald now." I fucking love it. I'm in. I'm so in. I love it. Yes, good match.
Yeah, great match. Very good match. Very good match. And
match.
And exceeded, I think, any of our expectations as to how good the match would be.
Yep, absolutely.
Next up, we had the New Day and Hurt Business.
New Day and the Sharp Business. I always want to call them the Sharp Business, and I don't know why. Okay. Like I fucking love the Hurt Business, but for some reason,
I like what they're doing here too. This was how I pretty much lost any contendership to being involved with the Predictions Championship because
I lost it in the next match. So
yeah, I did call the New Day. I liked I liked how strong they made the Hurt Business look, and I like the character stuff that's going on with Cedric Alexander.
I do too.
The kind of like tagging himself in, and that could have gone very wrong.
It has.
In
Like, I
wrestling
think-
tropes. Usually, it does when
Yep,
that
absolutely.
situation happens. So it was kind of nice to see it the other way around. Nice for Shelton Benjamin getting his first gold in 17 years, I believe it is.
Did you see that he dedicated it to Shad?
I did not, but that's sweet. That's something.
Like he had
cool.
a wrist tape on, and on the inside it said "For Shad."
I did notice something. I couldn't see it. Okay, yeah. No, that's super cool. That's super cool. Where do they go from here? Does Cedric? Do they hold it for very long? Does Cedric maybe get too big for his britches and get kicked out of the Hurt Business? Or
I feel like that's kind of where it's gonna go. It is a shame.
trying to
that-
establish him as more of a singles guy, or
Maybe. I mean, I think he's got the talent for it, so I don't think that that's, there's anything wrong with trying to make him a singles guy. It's just a shame that they're trying to push Ricochet into Retribution, because like that was sort of a wasted opportunity with the Hurt Business there, and I think you could have made the Hurt Business a little bit stronger if you add
Ricochet.
yeah
That would have worked. But I mean, he's hard to take as a heel. Ricochet is just he's just kind of a natural baby face that
he is, but we said that about Neville.
we said it
when
about
he was
Cedric
Neville.
Alexander, honestly.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
and
think
Neville's
anybody-
a real good point. Real good point.
Yeah, like dude, when he was Neville, it was like okay, whatever. Like,
yeah.
and then he comes out as Pac, and we're just like,
Oh. Well, he was he was there before as Neville in the WWE before he did the switch over to AEW.
a little bit, but he was like, he didn't really get a chance to showcase it.
Yeah, because he
He,
got
he
pissed
did a
off
little bit, but
beforehand.
it was like in that weird feud with Enzo,
Yeah. That's what did it. I mean,
and that was when he was just like, you know what, I'm fucking done. I don't care. And he was only gonna ever be the cruiserweight champion.
yeah.
So, me.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. After that, we have I guess it was Nia Jax.
The women's
tag-
Nia and Shayna Baszler.
Wow,
versus-
I was not impressed with this match.
No.
Definitely worst match of the night.
I mean, it was. I didn't catch it live. I did go back and watch it.
Yeah.
I had to go pick up Outback.
Good
I
for
was
you.
I needed a bloomin' onion. That's a much better idea.
Get that Outback special, bro.
That's right, brah.
Yeah.
But it was it was like, oh. It should have been more for Charlotte's return.
Yeah, and I mean it's nice to see Charlotte again. She looked great. It's
Yeah,
weird. It's
but
weird
Charlotte
seeing her
always
as a
looks
face.
great.
She's weird seeing her as a face again. Like it's been a long time since we've seen.
How long is she going to be a face?
That's a good point. But she actually, I mean, she looks great with a smile on her. Like it actually, like I don't know that it's gonna last that long because clearly they probably are gonna end up doing Charlotte Asuka in the split and all blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but Charlotte Asuka deserve a rematch.
They do. Asuka deserves the rematch, really, and Asuka needs to win that. Oh shit! But
Get
Asuka
excited
needs to,
about
I
Asuka.
know.
Holy shit, bro.
I was almost doing the Asuka thing.
I know, you get that.
Yeah. But yes, it almost felt a bit of a waste of Charlotte's return to me.
That was one of the lower moments on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it should have been a higher moment because it was Charlotte Flair and return, like it's been months, but whatever, they'll be the champions that hate each other and whatever.
Or they don't. Like maybe they'll surprise us and they actually like coexist for
Maybe.
a while. And I can honestly see I thought about this a little bit too, because I was at first very pissed off that why wouldn't you have Nia Jax take the pin instead of Shayna? And then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, maybe they'll set up something with Charlotte and Shayna as like a side feud with the two of them, which I'm in. Like, that can work quite nicely down the road.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
So I'm not as mad about it as I once was. Just get Nia Jax off my TV. That's all I got.
Well, that really goes without saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Match of the night time.
Yes, because it was.
Dude, okay. We've been on Team KO for a real long time.
Oh, never not been.
Exactly. Never not been.
Yeah.
This match and the build up to it reaffirmed why we're Team KO.
Yeah.
Like he's good on the mic and he's great in the ring and he can take and give a hell of an ass kicking.
Well, and here's the thing too about this. It's just so interesting to me that if you were to tell us last year Roman Reigns is going to be this amazing heel and and they're going to have a match with KO as this amazing
as the baby face,
we wouldn't have believed you.
No, not a chance, because it's like that's not realistic.
No.
But in the upside down world that is 2020, it totally makes sense.
Yeah. And yes, KO is, I can't believe that he's as good as a baby face as we're seeing right now.
It's all about, do you believe in the person?
Mm-hmm.
And do you believe what they're saying? I believe what KO is saying.
Yeah.
I believe what Roman Reigns is saying. It's just the inflection that they're using is a little bit different. Like you just put a little bit of a different angle on it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can essentially cut the same promo and get it two different ways, and it's magic. Like the Roman Reigns head of the table gimmick is fucking good.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely love it. And it's just like, and like they're making me hate Roman Reigns for the right reasons.
Yep. Not like it was a year or two ago when it was being force fed down our throat and everybody hated Roman and
Boo,
he was
Roman.
Roman boo. It's still my favorite thing.
It's become a part of our lexicon.
Yes,
Boo,
it has.
Roman.
but on top of that too is what was nice about this is that they didn't overuse the old school ladder match tropes of the slow climb. I'm so tired and exhausted.
Man.
I can't get up there. Every time KO was not doing that. It was a very natural climb every single time. And you know what? They had me believing for a few minutes that like, whoa, maybe they're gonna do this. Maybe
Right.
they're actually going to
I actually had the thought for a minute that they might. Like I was just like, oh man, that they
It
please
was-
put the belt back on KO.
And you know what? It's not over because apparently they've got a title match on SmackDown.
steel cage
in a
match.
steel cage. So
Yeah.
who's to say? Like, I would be down for like. I get tired of feuds that last too long with the same match over and over again. I think all of
Yeah.
us do. But a Roman KO, feud where they go back and forth, I would think they might be able to have KO pick up the belt and have Roman get it back before Mania, because of course they're gonna want to have the belt on Roman for Mania. But I
would
can,
assume.
but I can see them doing that, and I'd be in. I'd be in for another 3 matches of Roman KO and a belt switching and all that.
I'm totally down with it too. My question is, whatever happened to the days when a feud would last all year, but they'd only have a handful of matches?
Right.
Right? Like,
But they had much less TV, I guess, back in those days, and much less content to
yes and
fill.
no. Like, yes and no. Like, you think about Michaels, Austin, they didn't
Right.
really get in the ring. Like, that was a long build before they actually got in the ring.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's, I don't know, it's that anticipation, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was sort of like the Hangman Page and He Who Will Not Be Named.
Right.
So it's sort of like that. Like, they did 6 months of vignette building on like being the elite and New Japan and all these different kinds of things, and it made it that much more impressive when they finally did have some sort of like interaction. So I just don't think WWE has the patience for that kind of long-term storytelling.
They
anymore.
don't. We know that.
We do. And I don't know. They're giving us matches that tell stories. It's just like, you can draw some shit out again now. Like, we all understand how wrestling works. Like, and people that are new to wrestling will watch your recap footage and get it in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
So, like, they will always have that 90-second recap before every big match that will tell you what's been happening and what you need to know. They make it foolproof for you if you really want to watch. So I think that they could take a couple of chances.
I think they should. I mean,
They should.
because
Well, I guess they did, because they fucking ended the night with a homicide.
Well, there's that. And before we get to that, I just because we brought up the steel cage match on SmackDown. Maybe we're gonna get a return of Jimmy Uso. I just see the Usos doing some shit on top of that cage and costing KO the win. Like, that would and furthering the feud down the road, which would be smart, because if we're doing something with Roman and, like, I mean, it's gonna be Goldberg, isn't it? It's gonna be Goldberg, which makes me so depressed. But
Don't say
I
it.
know,
Don't put that evil. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Like,
but yes,
keep that shit out of the universe.
I hope it's not the case.
I hope that it's not. I know that he wants to. Oh God.
But if we have to have a feud that kind of leads us through Rumble, through into Mania with somebody, with Roman, yeah, make it KO. Like, I'm totally cool with that.
I'm sure.
Like you said, next up we have the Firefly Homicide match.
Dude.
And
all right. First of all, when the match started, I was like, oh, that's interesting.
We both thought it was going to be a cinematic match.
Like, okay. Well, first of all, every Inferno match, I don't know how many there's been, what, 2?
Maybe 3.
But every Inferno match you see, it has the rig around the ring, which has like the propane jets attached to it, and then they'll make it whatever. And I was like, there's no way they're going to do that, because they have the LED boards around the ring and they have them around the turnbuckle posts. So it's not going to be that.
Yep.
Okay. So it'll definitely be cinematic. And then the match starts and we're like,
wait a minute.
Or not.
Like, well, how are they going to do this? Like,
how are they going to
I think I literally asked you, I'm like, so how do they set each other on fire? Do they bring their own lighters to the ring? Like, what is going on here?
It's like, are there going to be torches carried by villagers, like, going around the ring? Like, I don't understand how this works. It's like a lumberjack match with torches. And the match goes on for a few minutes, and then Bray does that whatever he did, and all of the pyro goes off.
Like, did he hit his sister Abigail, or it was something? I can't remember what move he hit. He hit
what he did.
He hit a big move, and then it wasn't quite the Kane, big arms up, down, light, but it was close to it.
But there was a like a definite motion that he did.
Yeah.
And then the whole fucking building catches on fire. And then there's like these stands that have shit spiraling up them in the crowd, and
The visual was amazing.
you know what it was? It was metal as
fuck.
That's exactly what it was.
It was
fucking metal.
I popped. I popped hard. I went
I was
Beavis and
like,
Butthead. Fire, fire, yeah, fire.
Yeah, dude. I was like, yeah. I was, yeah.
It made me get invested back in the Fiend again too, which was important
Yeah.
because it's been ups and downs, and I love the Fiend's entrance. I love a lot of things with the Fiend, but this kind of like, okay, it brought me back in. Like I can get behind, you know, the character, the gimmick of this again. And with that visual, it really did it. I thought it was a great use of the Thunderdome, and I thought that I loved that it was like once it started, it was always there. But then, like, on the big hits, the big moves, when it slammed, like, the fire would get more intense. It would, like, burst out. And that, to me, it was, quite frankly, like, it made it for me. Like, that. And it was a match, you know? Like, it was, some of the shit, like, I honestly thought, like, at points, what, are they CGIing some of this fire? Like, what is going on here? Because, like, you know, like, this doesn't seem safe. Now I kind of understand that it was a pre-tape match, that they did things, you know, with, you know, they couldn't have done editing and all
like that. Yeah.
Right. But, again, like, the visual of Bray getting set on fire by Randy and then charging him like from the outside of the ring on fire, hopping into the ring, then getting hit with the RKO. Randy Orton hit an RKO on a dude that was on fire. 2020.
Does it get more metal than that? Like, I don't think it does.
It made me like Randy Orton more too.
It made me like everybody more, and it made me concerned that the Fiend's fucking tights were gonna melt to his leg.
Well, our biggest concern was his dreads.
That was a big concern.
Like, because those
I'm
things
like,
look like
and
tinder
we
anyway.
were like, that can't be real, right? Like, there's, and
Yeah.
now looking at it and being like, oh, it was pre-taped, right? Like, that's.
They put him out probably right after, you know, like they probably had guys with fire extinguishers.
And soaked with that flame retardant gel and everything. And it was probably a stuntman. Actually, no, that was probably Bray's crazy ass.
That's probably Bray. He's the type.
A lunatic.
I also like, too, that he wore the jacket the whole match. Like, he never took it off, which he usually does. And I also like that Randy was wearing full like
street clothes,
sweatpant, you know, and hoodie and everything,
workout gear,
right? Like, so it made it a little bit more believable as to who was going to be set on fire. Like, you couldn't have had Randy in his regular gear
and the Fiend in the full length, and then you're just like,
oh well, I wonder how this is going to go, you know,
right?
So ultimately, it's gotten a lot of crap and. Especially, the ending, the ending where Randy set the dummy essentially on fire has gotten a lot of crap.
In fairness, didn't really know that it was a dummy until like when the fire hit it and it didn't start to move.
Correct.
Right, because like
it looked pretty good.
Did you? Was it? Oh, I think it was another friend of mine that said, is like, did he hit him with an RKO or shoot him? Why is he still down?
Right.
Like,
right.
When the fire is engulfing you, you would be moving. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, your instinct, no matter if you're the Fiend or not, is going to be to fucking roll around and put yourself out.
Yeah.
So that aside, everything up until that point
was great.
Super good.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. And you know, what do wrestling fans want? Do you really want to see a man burned alive. How else?
Some wrestling fans do.
How else do you do it? But like that to me was just like, okay.
Like those weird fucking Japanese fans that wanted to see the dudes get put in the
Well,
piranha tank and shit.
They don't like wrestling. They like fucking torture porn. Is I guess what I would say.
I mean, that's what a lot of
Yeah.
backyard and deathmatch shit is. Like, it's just torture porn. It's just broken light tubes and fucking barbed wire, and it's just like, okay,
not for
but
me.
if you do, no, it's not for me either. But if you do it in a sort of classy way,
yeah,
like you can use violence to tell a story.
Absolutely.
And I think you can use blood and gore to tell a story, and you can use shock to tell a story. But if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, then it loses some of its impact, and it loses the appeal for me as a wrestling fan. It's like I'm watching wrestling. I'm not watching a horror film.
No. Well, very well put. And also, like, the same people that are bitching about this dummy are the same people that are like, well, they should never have put the belt on the Fiend, and they should keep him away from like the championship. Well, that's exactly what they're doing, and they're going to continue this feud with Randy Orton. So
Fucking
it seems.
Would you just shut up? Like,
I loved this segment. I mean, then my next question is, what's next for the Fiend? Like, how do we move forward now? Because there have been. He tweeted the following day, like a picture of a cocoon, which was interesting.
yeah, the day before he tweeted like a caterpillar, and then the next day he tweeted a cocoon.
So I mean,
and I'm sure in like a week he'll tweet a butterfly or a moth or something.
Right.
I think you do this sort of like rebirth through fire. Like
I think we're gonna see yet another iteration of Bray Wyatt. I think we're gonna have, if the Fiend might get even scarier is I guess what I'm kind of thinking.
That's all I can hope for.
And
really.
Did you see Alexa Bliss's promo on Raw last night?
I did.
I with the Alexa's playground and all that. Great job, by the way. She's fucking fantastic.
She's killing it.
She's killing it, and this works so well for her. But
absolutely, I love it.
But I think if you were to tell me, a few weeks back, like, following TLC, we're gonna continue the feud with Bray and Randy, I would have been a little bit like, But I'm actually kind of interested now. Like, now with this development, with this match, now I don't mind if they were to do it again, if they were to do something, and I don't know how you up the stakes, but if they do, good on them.
I don't know how you up the stakes from setting a dude on fire.
Right.
I mean, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. But
I mean, we did crucify Stone Cold Steve Austin and almost embalm him while he was alive.
Yeah.
So there's that. I was so bored of Randy and Bray because it's been so long. But once they did this match and they didn't project any worms or cockroaches into the ring, I was like, oh. And then they got my attention with it, right? Like, they were like, we're going to actually put on a decent match and tell a unique story that hasn't been told with this kind of thing before. And
it's a good use of both of them, because both of them, no one wants the title on either one of them. So to utilize them together in this way, where they already have this history from the past that is a very expansive history of the two of like their paths crossing, and like it fits. Like I think it's great.
I think it is too. I loved when he brought the rocking chair out.
Oh, that was cool.
Little nods, man, like little things went a long way in that, and like bringing the rocking chair out, and we were all like, where's Alexa? And then turns out didn't need her in the match, like didn't need her to be a part of it. It was fine without her. If anything, it helps more that she wasn't involved in it, because it now allows her to be a part of this whatever is going to happen with the Fiend.
Well, yeah, the utilization of her the following night was more
Yes.
important than it was on the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the whole thing. The
100%.
the only other thing I have with, and it definitely leads me into what's going on SmackDown, was I didn't catch this live, but Big E essentially pinned Sami Zayn in a gauntlet match.
On the pre-show.
Was it a gauntlet match? Was it on the pre-show?
It was an 8-man tag.
8-man tag. My mistake. But this has now led to Big E being granted an intercontinental championship match, which, as of about an hour before us starting the show, has now been deemed a lumberjack match. I don't know if you heard that.
I did hear that, in fact.
So this could go this is going to go one or two ways. This is on Christmas Day, by the way, as well. So that's interesting.
Right.
I think all of us kind of, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for you. I think Big E's going to win it. Or I did.
I think Big E should win it.
I think he should. The Intercontinental, the Lumberjack stipulation is either going to screw Big E, or do you think that possibly that's there so that the Lumberjacks can make a huge celebration for when Big E wins?
I think it's option 2.
I think so as well. I hope it's option 2, because that would be really cool.
I think that it's seeming ever more likely that they will have Big E see how he does with a mid-card title
before they
do a massive push for him. I think they're still hot to do a massive push for him, but I think they want to see, because I just don't know that I see Big E being one of the, like, I don't know if I see Big E beating Roman at WrestleMania.
I can. And I think there's a story there to be told because of the Kofi stuff beforehand, and like another member of New Day has his moment. They can build a lot of shit around that. They
can. I'm not saying that they can't. I'm just saying that because of how close Mania actually is away,
right?
It isn't a very long time to build a convincing story.
Unless he, like, see, here's the thing, because a lot of us thought, oh, Big E might be the Rumble winner. So,
right.
Which is an instant, like, way to get him into that feud with Roman.
Yep.
Now with him with the IC title, why would he enter the Rumble to that, right? Like, so, to do that.
They've had the IC and the US champions enter the Rumble before.
But they never win it. They never, like, you're not going to have an IC title winner. Like, they might be in the Rumble, but I don't think you have them win the Rumble, do you? Has that happened?
Done it, like, I mean, they've done champion versus champion at WrestleMania before.
And I'd be so down if, like, we have IC title Big E versus Roman, and now we have big 2-belt E or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Big E 2 belts.
Big E 2 belts. I'd be in for that. Would this, if he does win on Friday, would that be his second IC title reign? And I think he's had it before, right? Like when he first was Big E Langston and came from NXT. I want to say he got the IC title before.
Yes.
Okay. So that would be a second. It would be a second reign as IC title or as champion.
Hang on, stand by. He has been. So he won once, and then I think he maybe has been twice.
Okay.
Through 2013 and 2014.
Oh, good for. Okay, cool. So that could be much like the Miz elevated the IC title when he kind of had it I feel like Big E could do the same. Bit of a long history with it. You know, feels like the right guy to be able to do it. And fans, I mean, if you don't like Big E, you're not a human being. So you just need to go, you know.
It's really a shame if you don't like Big E because he's a fucking treasure that must be protected at all costs.
I just want him to cuddle me and feel the power.
Just yeah, right. Feel the power of those big pecs. And he's fucking hilarious too.
Oh,
I know I've talked about their podcast before, but goddamn, it's funny.
Yeah. If you're not listening to ours, listen to that.
Yeah. But definitely listen to ours.
Yeah, listen to ours first.
Right.
Moving on a bit, I want to kind of talk a little bit about AEW because I know the people out there. There's a lot of people out there that are over WWE and kind of only watch AEW now, which I understand to a degree. WWE's not doing all complete shit, by the way. Like they've turned things around in my mind, just a little bit. It's not all crap, but what AEW is doing with a few things is remarkable. I love, of course, the Kenny Omega storyline with Impact. I thought the match with Joey Janela fell a little bit flat, but I did like the commentary from Don Callis as he grabs a mic and starts, basically live commentating on the matches it's happening over the house. Kenny then even grabbing that same mic and doing his own commentary as
during the match,
during his own match.
Kenny is so good. I'm so glad that they're letting him be the cleaner.
Yeah.
But every time we're just like, oh, this match is going to be great, it falls flat. Right? Like,
because I've got a real soft spot for Joey Janela too.
Me too. Yeah, I love the bad boy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's our people.
And
right?
and he's also he's seen as strictly a lot of the times as being like the deathmatch guy or the hardcore guy. The dude can fucking go. Like he can really work.
He can. He absolutely can. It's a shame that, but I mean, like when you jump off of a building into a pickup truck filled with fucking like glass and barbed wire and shit, like what do you expect people are gonna think?
Yeah, true.
So, and he's still doing death matches and wrestling on grass and doing ridiculous shit. So, it's fucking Joey Janela. What do you expect?
Yeah. Stapling cigarettes to his head.
That shit was fucking hilarious and looked so painful.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, no thanks.
God damn. But he, like those matches, I don't know. We get so hyped up for, this match is going to be great. And then it's just sort of like, oh, okay. But everybody expects that Kenny is going to have a 6-star match every fucking time he gets in the ring.
And that's unfair. That's unfair. You can't, I mean, Kenny's great, but no one can do that night in, night out. And I knew it was going to be kind of like, oh, wow, he's going to bury Joey when, they gave him 12 minutes or something like that. Like, I know TNT only has so much time, so like they're not going to exactly.
Yeah, but they also didn't they had Kenny come out and super fast squash Sonny Kiss a couple of weeks ago.
That's true. They gave him more time than that at least.
Yeah. So I get what they're trying to do, right? Like Kenny is one of the best wrestlers in the world. They want him to be one of the best wrestlers in the world
and present him as such.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the Impact thing is doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they are, like the way that he is Kenny the Collector, I like that.
Oh, I love it. I don't think it stops at Impact either. I mean, I think you're gonna have to do the NWA, crossover might happen. Like him and Aldis is gonna be. I mean, that'll be a hell of a match.
That would be a great match.
So there's the possibility there, and then there's the end. The New
The
Japan,
New Japan.
possibilities. Have you heard what the Good Brothers and Kenny are calling themselves in Impact, and on Callis, of course?
The Bullet Club.
They are not.
That's what they called themselves during the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Over the last couple of days, I believe that Don Callis was the one on Twitter that promoted this, and they are now calling themselves, and it's popped up a few times, the Super Elite. Which is interesting because it also throws a little shade at the Bucks. It throws a little shade at what once
Cody,
was the Elite and Cody and Hangman even. So I think they're building to something really interesting there.
So what is it going to be? Is it going to be Kenny and the Good Brothers versus the Bucks and...
It's either Hangman or Cody.
But Hangman was kicked out of the Elite.
Yeah, I think it'd be Cody then. But Cody's not been doing
Cody
much
hasn't
with the
done
Elite
anything
either.
with the Elite in
a while.
Forever, yeah.
Probably most of 2020.
If not most of 2019
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. It's been a long time.
Once AEW started, he kind of faded away from...
Yeah, he fizzled that out. So that is interesting.
We'll see. I wouldn't hate it.
No,
I
wouldn't.
Elite versus the Super Elite. Like, it's just
the
such
Elite. I know, it's so dumb.
What a fucking...
Yeah. It's so
what
dumb.
A pro wrestling thing.
It is. Speaking of Hangman, though, too, I also loved on this week's episode of Dynamite, the stuff that Hangman is doing with the Dark Order. Of course, we've seen it on the YouTube show Being the Elite, but now we're actually seeing the signs. I mean, first up, John Silver and Alex Reynolds killing it. Absolutely killing it. Bravo.
Well done, boys.
Bravo.
Well done.
And it's so fun after, like we said, like him being kicked out of the Elite, him not wanting to, in a sense, losing his smile, right? Being very, very dark, very depressed.
Yeah, just not taking as many pills as Sean, but yeah.
Yeah. Showing the signs, though, of actually like he hates to admit it, but these guys are fun and he's actually enjoying it, and seeing him smile and like getting a kick out of Silver's antics, and Silver when he hopped on his back.
Oh my God.
That spot, like,
oh my God.
Everything is just, I love every bit of what's going on there. And if they're smart, they do. They actually have him join the Dark Order reluctantly, and it has to be going that way, right?
I think so. I think that there's something that you can do with it.
Ooh, I just had an idea. What if he joins Dark Order and sorry, I just brain fart real quick. Brody Lee, sorry.
Okay.
So who hasn't been on TV in a while is a little bit pissed off because, like, he's in there now, and now we have essentially a Brody Lee Hangman feud for the control of the Dark Order, and then Hangman becomes the leader of the Dark Order without even really wanting to be.
That would be fun. Like, Hangman is the reluctant leader.
Yeah.
I can see that. That would be fun. I can get behind that.
That could work, right?
It's just like, what do you do with Brody Lee?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it? It seems like he's a little bit lost in like.
Yeah.
He's injured. Is he injured?
Definitely lost.
Is that why he's not been on TV?
I think so. Like, I don't even fucking know anymore. Like, to be entirely honest.
You know what you do? You get him out of the Dark Order, take him away for a while, and much in the way, you know what I would do with him? I would have him form a tag team with Lance Archer, because the two of them are both lost, and they could be a huge monster tag team, which AEW doesn't have. And I think that would work really nicely because
those would be two big boys that would work well together. Yeah.
And Brody Lee, very used to working as a tag team guy from back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
That could work quite well.
Yeah.
Book.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, let me book everything. Damn it.
Yeah. We've had some really terrible ideas, and in retrospect, some of the time, like, we would have deserved to gotten fired.
Moving on. Speaking of terrible ideas, apparently
Wellness policy, tag team champs for life.
Oh yeah. AJ Styles has some terrible ideas. One of them's not as bad as the other.
I think he has terrible beliefs.
I love AJ.
Yeah, the Earth's not flat.
In an interview, he said, and I think the question was posed to him like, okay, so this is before, obviously, TLC. He was asked, so say, like, hypothetically, you win the belt. Who would you want at WrestleMania? And his two big ones were, I would love to wrestle Edge. Like, AJ and Edge at WrestleMania. That's got money. Like, that would work. I could deal with that. But But the other one, AJ and Triple H was the other name that he mentioned.
It's time to play the game.
Which is funny because you're not allowed to play the game on Twitch.
That's true. You can't play the game on Twitch
Can't play the
anymore.
game on Twitch, AJ.
We would get in trouble for doing this if we worked for WWE.
I know.
Shit.
Oh, if they gave us that money, we'll cancel this fucking shit.
Sorry. We'd just put on different lucha masks and wear long sleeves and gloves.
They
the
won't
whole time.
know. We'll be like Gallows and Anderson that just basically ran their own promotion without them knowing, like from the background.
I don't honestly believe for a second that they didn't know that Gallows was running that shit because it's Gallows, first of all.
Goddamn Carney.
Dude, he is way too Kazarni. Like, he can't even just like he's back there like, God damn it. You know, just talking on the phone, just like this son of a bitch. Like,
son of a bitch.
Shut up, Carl.
What do you know about this new NXT show? It's been all over the dirt sheets lately too. Like this sounds interesting to me because
the NXT Lucha Libre.
Yeah, I guess like I didn't know about the Lucha side of things until today, but originally it was being reported as kind of being like the farm system for the farm system, if that makes any sense. But now the NXT
they're trying to push NXT as not a developmental thing anymore.
Correct.
Like they want it to be its own brand, which I mean it is at this point.
It is.
The PC is the developmental system.
Yeah.
So what I had originally sort of heard rumblings of was that it was going to be more like a PC based show, like around the PC trainees, I guess. Not like a game show or a competition or anything like that, but like those superstars.
I feel like they could do, and I hate that I'm saying this, but this is so WWE, and I don't know if I 100% want it to go this way, but I can just see it happening. Is, you know, we've got Total Bellas, Divas, all that. You almost do a reality show with
but that's what
guys.
NXT's. No, you can't do that. NXT started like that, and it was terrible.
Not a reality game show, but like you could sort of document the growth of a wrestler into.
But
they won't do it right. I don't know.
They won't do it right. And that's the thing is like as soon as you bring the reality TV aspect of it into it, it's no longer, you know, like that's reality TV, we know, is so far from unscripted television.
Correct.
So, and WWE's product is nothing but scripted TV. So, but it's pretending that it's not. So I could see, I think that you're better off letting Ms. and Mrs. and Total Bellas, like I think you're better off letting that be a thing. And then when your superstars are more established, and have enough mainstream appeal,
Mm-hmm.
I think that then it's a better time because, dude, the Miz has been around forever now, right?
That's
like
close
the
to 20
Miz,
years, right? I mean,
gotta
it's
be.
gotta be.
Like,
it
I gotta look this up. I gotta see.
and good on him for
Yeah.
turning a real world, appearance or being on the real world to turning it into that. Like that, not a lot of people can do it.
No, not at all. The fact that he's 40,
If it-
right?
yeah,
That's
kinda
it.
nuts.
He
That's
was
kinda
on
nuts.
Tough Enough in 2004, but he started in 2003.
Good
So
for
he's
him.
been around for like shit. It's like
17
16 years in
yeah,
WWE.
something like that. That's well
Yeah.
done, well done. I wonder if the Lucha thing, like those reports coming out, are an attempt to kind of get some of that the Mexican market, or kind of try and get into that territory, much as they're trying to do, of course, in India. They've announced the NXT India deal. So
And they were gonna try and buy Noah to do like an NXT Japan, and they have
Japan.
NXT UK. Maybe.
I don't know that they have a chance though in Mexico, do they? With especially with the established, much in the
With
same way.
CMLL and
Well,
AAA.
yeah, much in the same way that you don't really stand a chance with it in Japan, just because of what they have over there. Like it doesn't feel like they have a much greater chance in India, because there's no real huge promotion apart from, Kali's got his promotion that's doing great numbers. We talked about that last week, but
Right.
something like a WWE India seems like it would work better to me than it would Mexico or Japan.
WWE sells really well in Mexico.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they sell really well. They sell out like the big arena in Mexico City.
That I had no idea.
But I think that it will be more of like the Lucha Libre style. I think that it's gonna not necessarily be.
So at that point, do they take away 205 Live and kind of intertwine the two of those?
And that's what I don't get. Like, why would you do that when 205 Live is already sort of that flashy, high flying style?
Is anybody watching 205 Live?
I don't know.
I haven't seen it in over a year. I haven't bothered watching.
I think
205
that's probably
Live.
being generous.
When do they tape that? After SmackDown?
I don't know.
I seriously, I don't. Who's the champion? I would have to look it up to know who the cruiserweight champion is.
Swerve.
Who's awesome, by the way. We have connections with him,
Yes.
and I'm going to try and get him on the show very soon.
Dude,
as
I
well.
love. He's phenomenal.
Yeah,
he is fan-fucking-tastic.
He's smart as fuck too. He's yeah.
Oh, dude, he's very good, very, very good. Who is the
cruiserweight?
It's what's his name with the
Use words.
No. Yes. No, he's the guy who the luchador who unmasked and
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
El Hijo de Fantasma.
That's
Phantasma.
it. Phantasma. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
good. I mean, I like watching. I just never get to see it. Put that as they need to just do like with Raw, like they did with Nitro back in the day. Do like the first, even if it's not the full first hour, do the first half hour with a couple of cruiserweight matches. Throw that on there, and showcase the guys at some point on the other shows. You don't need 205. No one's watching 205 Live. You don't need that as its own show. Put them. But then again, we've just got too many people on the goddamn roster, I would assume. Like, that's the problem. They just don't have enough time on TV for everybody to be, have their showcase.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, for us to Santos Escobar. That's what he's calling himself now.
Gotcha. Did you see that WWE Shop? they finally put out a replica Mustafa Ali mask. You know, the one he used to come to the ring down with. Like, they
no.
finally put it out now after he's not using it with Retribution. Like,
You know,
okay, dickheads.
exactly it. Just like, why are you fucking like, way to be late to that fucking party?
And
guys.
imagine how
Come
much
on.
money he probably could have made too. Like when he was hot and when it was
Could have
happening.
made a few bucks.
Especially with like, remember when he had that big win in Saudi Arabia, like on one of those shows, like he had a huge crown jewel or one of those
Are
big.
you thinking of Mansoor, who looks an awful lot like Mustafa Ali?
No. Definitely not. No.
Definitely not. No.
Moving
no,
on, moving on,
100%
moving on, moving on,
Moving
moving
on.
on, moving on,
Anyway.
moving on, moving on, moving on. There's nothing about it.
Nothing to see.
I'm
here.
gonna go buy a Mansoor mask now. Wait, no, wait, no, yeah.
Wait. Oh, Jesus.
I am wrong about that. You're right. But Mustafa Ali did have like a bit of hype around him for a while, and he didn't have any real merch on the shop, and that mask is cool as hell. Like if I was a kid, if I was a kid,
Absolutely.
I'd want that shit. Like look at that light up mask. Like it's super neat. So
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, like they've just put that up there.
Oh,
WWE have also announced that they're going to be doing in 2 weeks Raw Legends Week.
I heard about that.
This is
I heard
cool in a
about that.
pandemic, fly in all the old people.
They've already done it once.
Yeah. And Alicia,
And they've already
your girl
they've already
Alicia
gotten
Fox
shit
is
about
coming. Your girl Alicia Fox, who got fired for drinking on the job, right? She's now a legend. She's now apparently a legend. So she'll be there, along with I know.
Wait, really?
Yeah, she's announced.
Oh.
Isn't that weird? It feels
Yeah.
weird. It feels weird.
That's
Yeah, I didn't.
okay.
I mean, I
All
get
right,
it.
man,
Flair's coming, Hogan's coming, but Alicia Fox as well, like on the list. There's more. Who was it? Hillbilly Jim's
they're-
gonna be there.
Not dead. Confirmed.
Confirmed, not dead. Yeah. There's a
It's like
couple.
they've got to be
others.
listening, and they're just doing it to fuck with us. They're just like 2 weeks ago, these assholes were just like, Hillbilly Jim's dead.
Yeah, like,
Then it took like 5 minutes for our high asses to fucking figure it out. Oh,
Yeah.
he's not dead.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, watch this. We're gonna put him on TV for these two schmucks.
Do you think this is in response to the terrible ratings that they've been having? They always do this, right? Whenever they get bad ratings, they go back to just, oh, what can we do? Bring in the old guys and people will tune in.
Put on a good fucking wrestling match on TV.
That's all you. It's not that. It's not that difficult.
It's not. It's really not. Like, have a match.
Instead of doing
just
them all
have-
on the pay-per-view, I mean, why don't you have a match like you have on some of your pay-per-views that you've had the last couple pay-per-views? Why don't you put that shit on TV every once in a while? I mean, you don't have to do them all the time, but give us a 20-minute banger, or give us like a Carmella Sasha real wrestling match on TV. People will
Right.
tune in. People will tune in.
Right. Exactly.
Ratings
like
will go
that's
up.
the whole thing. Like, you just have to. If you give us wrestling, we will watch it.
Yeah.
If you give us bullshit, we will change the fucking channel.
Can you talk about the Vampiro documentary for a couple of minutes
Oh,
while I
dude,
take a
okay.
quick pee? Like I do.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah, go
super
for it.
quick, but
Go for it.
I know. You
Yeah.
watched this the other day, right? And you said it was really good.
I did. I was bored. My wife was at work, so I decided, just scrolling through Amazon Prime, and I come across this video. It's called "Nail in the Coffin: The Fall and Rise of Vampiro," and I was just like, okay, we'll check it out. And it was a very good documentary. This is sort of like going in the theme of one of us recommending an Amazon Prime wrestling documentary. First was Smack 'em Up, which I did finally watch. Matthew, you will be happy to know, and it was excellent. And so right next to that was the Vampiro documentary, so started watching that. Had no idea, fun fact, spoiler alert, that Vampiro is Canadian. Had no fucking idea that Vampiro was Canadian. Why would I think that Vampiro was Canadian? My first interaction with Vampiro was him on Nitro with the Misfits. So what the fuck? Anyway, it was basically a documentary showcasing him. This was during the production of Lucha Underground, so it's been a few years ago now, probably 2016, 2017. And it just is sort of like part biography about him and his life, and then partly about where he's at in his life now. And it showed, like, the dude can hardly fucking walk, which is
he
you know,
that bad?
Dude, this, I mean, he can walk, but you can tell that he's fucked up.
Yeah.
And in this documentary, right, like, there's stuff, I was just saying it takes place probably like 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Because it's when Lucha Underground is filming.
And he was a big part of that, wasn't he?
He was a commentator on it,
Yeah. Commentator, I think.
and also like ended up being one of the writers on it.
Gotcha.
And then he's also one of the bookers for AAA, or at least he was back at this time. And it's just like, you know, it's partly his biography, and then partly like where he's at that moment in time, and just being like a fucked up wrestler, and like trying to raise his teenage daughter. And
were you a big
like,
Vampiro guy back in the day?
I loved the aesthetic of Vampiro. I wasn't necessarily I liked Vampiro, but I wasn't like necessarily wouldn't call myself a Vampiro guy. Like I said at the beginning, I did not know that he was fucking Canadian.
Yeah, you wouldn't guess it. I honestly thought he was Mexican.
That's the thing, is like, he started as the Canadian vampire. Like, he just went down to Mexico, and he was the Canadian vampire, and he had like the Milli Vanilli braided hair because he had been spending time with fucking Milli Vanilli.
Like, legitimately? Like the
legitimately.
What?
Yep.
Is that in the documentary?
It's in the fucking documentary.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Wow. I'll have to watch it now. Yeah.
And he was like a rock star in Mexico. Like,
he did look cool.
He looked super cool, but he apparently like became sort of a legend in Lucha Libre. And he never wore a mask, and he'll even say he's like, I was not the best wrestler. He's like, but I was pretty, and the girls like me, so
fuck it.
Yeah. So it was a really good documentary.
And
it was one of the
that's on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, on Prime.
All right, I'll definitely be checking that out. It was one of the over this Christmas.
It was one of I watched Smack 'Em Up, and then it was one of the recommended afterwards.
Smack 'Em Up is good.
Yeah.
Smack 'Em Up is good. I love that.
It's good. That was really good too. So.
You also
so go ahead and watch that shit.
100%. We also you mentioned that you watched the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, which I have not seen. Final Battle
2020. Yeah. It was good.
You're a much bigger Ring of Honor guy than I am, so I've not.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I'm a Ring of Honor guy. I didn't tune in until it started at some weird time, and I don't think I even tuned in until it was like the fourth match of the night.
Speaking of weird times, just side note real quick. Slammy Awards on Wednesday at 10 a.m. I believe. Okay.
I mean, I would love to watch that. Unfortunately, I'm going to be at the DMV tomorrow.
I'll be in the gym, getting yoked.
First of all, don't lie to the people. This is not nice. It's right before Christmas. I'll take your fucking present.
But sorry,
neither of us are in the gym. My doctor told me I have to lose weight. because I gained 12 pounds in a month. And he goes, so you're going to work on that, right? And I'm just like, fuck. Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, nothing fits unless it's a 2X now. So I guess I probably fucking should. Ugh. God damn it. And then I was just like, I just like pandemic pizza too much.
Where
and
do
he
you
was just
put
like,
it on? Like, it must be your, because you don't look any
it's
different.
my belly, dude.
It's just
so
belly.
my belly.
Yeah, okay.
It just carries around like all that excess skin that I still have, just like
Right.
expands and just lets it all fucking be there.
Yeah.
I'm tall, so it works out, but
Because you
it's-
don't look like you're overweight. I will say that as just a compliment to you. You don't. Like, when I
No,
see you,
I
you don't look
appreciate
like you're
that.
overweight.
no. But he was just I'm right at about 250 now.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's about 50 pounds that I've put on since I
Ooh.
moved back to Orlando.
That's pandemic.
So-
The pandemic 50.
Yeah. Well, the first bit of it was just moving back to Orlando, and I was just like, "Fuck yeah, I'm going to the parks all the time. I'm gonna eat all the bullshit food."
Yeah.
And then the pandemic. So, whatever.
Combo.
If it was muscle, it'd be great, but
Or
it's not.
or
muscle,
just
so-
a lot of combos.
Yeah, mostly checkers. To be entirely
love
honest with you.
Man,
Checkers and Ale House. God damn it.
Checkers fries though. Come on. Like, you can't.
Checkers fries.
The-
Checkers fries and Mountain Melts, and I am fucking weak. I also did get a lot of Johnny's burgers. I won't even lie.
Good for you.
Gotta do it.
I totally interrupted you. We were talking about the ROH, the Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
I caught it sort of right at the end of the fifth match, which was Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, formerly Mike Kanellis, formerly Mike Bennett, then Mike Kanellis, and then Mike Bennett again, and then, you know what I mean. They were against Vincent and Tyler Bateman. Vincent sort of has this like Charles Manson-y kind of vibe going on. He's the horror king. He's pretty cool. But then the next match was a match, and it was a guy named Brian Johnson, and I thought the singer from AC/DC.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. Against Danhausen.
Oh,
So
he's your boy. I know.
It was like one of the first matches I've got to watch like full.
The weird teeth guy. If you don't know about Danhausen, by the way, because Duncan had to kind of educate me a little bit on him.
I talked about him so much, and then I could tell that you looked something up, and you're like, because I just get this message that's explain to me Danhausen.
Yeah.
And I believe what I said was time traveling evil spirit who from like the 1800s
Who collects teeth.
He collects teeth.
Ooh.
And he demands to be paid in human money, and he only travels by blimp.
Yeah, I don't know how else. Like, that's a great explanation.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what you want from me. And no swearing is the big thing.
He's kind of skinny too, right? Like Danhausen's.
He looks like you.
Yeah,
He looks like you if
does
you
look
had
a
a
bit
bunch
like
of
me.
traditional tattoos.
Yeah.
And grease paint. But he's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he comes out and he does the voice, and he's just like, this guy, he does not stop yelling. I don't know why he yells at Danhausen. Why was you yell at Danhausen?
Kind of talks like an Eastern European sort of.
A little bit, dude. It's very strange how he's like very nice, very evil. It's just this weird voice, and I love it. And if Danhausen won the match, then because he had to win a match in the year 2020 in order to get a Ring of Honor contract. So this was his first and only opportunity to win a match in 2020
to get in with Ring of Honor.
Yeah. So, I mean, spoiler alert, Danhausen did win.
Yay!
And he did the old Eddie Guerrero thing. Like he had the microphone because the dude he was going against just kept talking shit in the mic. So he like rubbed the microphone in his paint and got it all over the microphone, and then hit himself, hit the mic.
That's cool.
And then threw it to the guy and went down. And he was like, ah. I was just like, you got. It was good.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
You watch Ring of Honor through what service is that again?
That you can watch. Yeah, I think they have a Twitch or a YouTube,
Gotcha.
And I think they're on Access TV.
You can find it.
You can find it.
Gotcha.
You can find it.
Copy.
Yeah. But I will say that really the biggest reason that I wanted to watch was the main event, which was for the Ring of Honor World Championship, which was the champion Roosh against my boy Brody King.
Oh, fuck.
That was a fucking brutal ass match.
Hard hitting. I'm assuming. I mean, it's Brody.
Yeah.
It's Brody King. That man's chops scare the hell out of me. First
Dude,
off, like that.
Fucking ow.
You feel them through your television screen. Like it
100%.
100%.
Because Brody King is 6'5", 300-pound straight edge Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
Is exactly what he is. And I'm just like I'm 6'2", 250, definitively not straight edge. And goddamn,
he's a terrifying individual.
He makes me look small.
He's the guy at the bar that no one fucks with. Like that.
Correct.
That would, straight
He's
edge.
the guy that nobody's ever. But yeah, but if you saw that dude out in public, that is a dude that you are not gonna fuck with at all.
My wife would probably want to cross the street. Things like that.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, he just because he can do the crazy face, right? I guess I can do the crazy face too, and now all I have is his eyes because I'm always wearing a mask. And
you do crazy eyes quite well. I've seen you do crazy eyes.
I know.
Yeah.
I try not to do crazy eyes too often.
Oh, you gave them to me once, and I did not like it.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
But
I do remember that. It was not
but
the only time that it's ever happened.
But you said you've met him, right? You said he was an absolute sweetheart in real life.
Oh, dude, he's super nice.
Yeah.
Incredibly nice. I've met him a few times at a few different shows. When we went to PWG a few years ago, we were in line and his wife was behind us, and we just talked to her while we were in line. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're best friends. But
BFFs.
I wanna just hit upon. Who won the match?
Roosh.
Roosh did win.
Roosh did win after his father, La Bestia del Ring, the fucking founder of Los Ingobernables, or La Facción Ingobernable, as they're calling it.
Okay.
Came out. First of all, Dragon Lee is part of the faction. Dragon Lee and Roosh are brothers.
Okay. Didn't know.
Roosh and Andrade are also brothers.
That I can see it sort of weirdly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're all family. Their father, La Bestia, came out, cracked Brody on the head with a fucking steel chair, and they basically now have they have him as the I don't know what he's gonna do in Ring of Honor, but he's there now.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, I was not expecting this, but here we are.
So Facebook does ask, what do you think of Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers having a match at Impact's Hard to Kill pay-per-view?
Love it.
I mean, it's gonna happen, I think, right? And
What's not to like?
what's not to like?
That's what I ask. That's what I ask to you. It's
Yeah,
because it's Kenny and the Good Brothers against the Motor City Machine Guns and Rich Swann.
Anderson and Gallows will let Kenny do all the work, and
Yeah.
then Gallows will like maybe do like 2 spots, and that'll and get kicked out of the ring, and then
He's gonna be gassed.
He's gonna be
Just lay
gassed.
outside.
Yeah. Abs Anderson will
Abs Anderson.
we'll do
Yeah.
a little bit, and then we'll go on from there. But no, it'll be a good match. Like, what do you? Yeah.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you like that?
And when was the last time that we cared about an Impact pay-per-view, for Christ's sake? So, like, Kenny is doing the job, and the Good Brothers, like,
Yeah.
doing their job. They're getting ratings, and they're pulling in a lot of viewers. So, fantastic. I'm super stoked about it, and I think it sets up Rich Swann and Kenny for later down the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's
I do too.
that's
and
smart.
Rich Swann is gonna lose his title.
Yes, as the collector goes around town doing what the collector does. I wanted to, I mentioned
What was that?
I Don vetoed. I
Fucking sure did. Oh my god.
Mike Rome.
Oh boy, here we
You ever
go.
hear of this guy? He's one of these like jabrones that announces for the WWE.
I have heard of him.
Yeah. So we know him in real life. I've known him for, I've known this dude for probably about 10 years. And I've worked with him closely at the theme parks, we'll just say. I'm not going to
Yes.
tell you his real name because that would be rude. But I know the guy personally, and he's always been a bit of a one of these egomaniacs. A little
braggadocious,
a little
maybe?
braggadocious. And you, Duncan, saw him on last night's
my
TLC
fault.
pay-per-view, pointed out a pin that he was wearing on his lapel of his jacket.
Yes, indeed.
Now, I have heard of this, but I would never have recognized the pin. You, however, are a Disney nerd and know a little bit more about it than myself. This comes from the Club 33, am I correct?
It is in fact a Club 33 lapel pin.
Tell me a little about the Club 33 before we get out of
Okay.
here.
So Club 33 is an exclusive club that started at Disneyland. It's called Club 33 because the address is 33 Royal Street in New Orleans Square,
Okay.
which it is
It's like a high roller club type deal?
basically it started off as like it was the only place in Disneyland that you could buy alcohol, and it's a private members club.
Oh.
So it's a ritzy fucking thing. Like it's above the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, basically, and it's sort of
In
overlooks-
Disneyland, not
in
Disney
Disneyland,
World.
not in California, not in so
Copy.
in Disney World, there is a Club 33. There is one in the Magic Kingdom, but it's in a different spot.
Teresa seems to have thought that she understood it as like, oh, that's how you get like the dinners in the castle or something like that. Is there any truth to that?
You can get there's a restaurant in the castle called Cinderella's Royal Table. So you can just get reservations.
So
to
it's
eat
not
in the
really the
castle.
Club 33. It's not related.
No, Club 33 is a private members restaurant, but it's like a super high-end restaurant. It's very fancy, and you go in there and it's a private lounge, and there's drinks and food, and park tickets are included and whatever. And it's just a
It's a very expensive elite club of people.
very expensive, very elite. At one point, it had an 11-year waiting list.
Holy shit! So
An 11-year waiting list, and
he blew someone to get in there.
that's exactly what I said. I won't even lie. I'm just like, I don't know who he blew to get in there, but it's also an invite-only club, so you can only become a member if you're invited by another member.
Interesting. It's like
The
Disney
only reason-
Illuminati. Like if that's a decent way.
Or a
to,
Freemason.
Freemason, Disney
like-
Freemason. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And I know this because like I follow him on Instagram, and I saw a picture he posted in the park, and it was a more up close picture, and he's got it on his bag. And it was like a super close up, and I was just like, oh, okay. And then I noticed it on the pay-per-view on Sunday night.
Hey, I'm not gonna knock anybody's success. I want people to
No.
do well, and you, what was the price you said? It was like 25 grand to get
This
in.
is the
or
thing.
something? Like,
This is the thing, is to be a member, and this is why we say it's braggadocious.
yeah.
Because to the people that know what that is, they
Mhm.
know that represents more money than I personally have made all fucking year.
Absolutely.
Right?
and me both,
this
buddy.
year, especially.
You and me both, buddy.
So, Club 33
Mm.
is $25,000 to sign up.
Just to sign up.
And then you have to pay annual fees that are, I think, $14,000 a year.
Holy fuck, man. So Mike, the ring announcer shows up on TLC wearing that pin. Again, if you know, and it does feel a little
It's a little dick,
a
right?
little like, hey, look at me, like I got the money. And again, good for you.
Good for you.
Good for you.
However, right? Like, and I know that I can't be the only person that picked
that
up
picked
on
that up. Exactly.
And it's just
picked up-
like,
or picked
bro.
up on it. I'm surprised that no one backstage at WWE picked that up. And I'm not sure if they knew what that meant, they would have been totally stoked with him going on pay-per-view, television with that
Yeah.
on.
Dude, I mean, they did a fucking like from here up
Yeah.
zoom on him, and like just bam, right there.
Right there.
Black suit, silver lapel pin. It's pretty easy to notice.
Right. If you know what you're looking for, if you know what it is.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, like, okay, wear a lapel pin. It's fine, but you probably shouldn't be flaunting excessive. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, you probably
Disney and
shouldn't-
WWE aren't exactly in bed together. I mean, like if it was a Universal related thing, you might be able to get away with it, but
I
not
would think a little bit more.
a little bit more than that. It
Yeah.
felt very bold of him to pull that
Yeah,
off.
it seemed a little bit ballsy.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you're like, is this something you have to do for your Club 33 friends? Like, I don't
Right.
understand.
I mean, that might even be part of it, right?
It might be.
It might be.
It might be. Who knows? It's really just more the fact that like it's a very expensive, ritzy thing, and from everything that I've been able to tell, right, it's just not that great.
It's for douches. It's for
It's
people
for
that
dude,
want
yeah,
to
it's for
brag. It's for
people that-
people that want to be like, oh, you're part of the
Yeah.
club. Oh, it's all.
Oh,
that
I'm sorry. It's a
shit.
$33,000 initial
Oh,
membership.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, why wouldn't it be?
You get a $15,000 annual membership fee. You get access to all 4 Club 33 locations in Walt Disney World, 5-day-long guided VIP tours, a premier pass for a member, spouse, and children under 26. The premier pass is Disneyland and Disney World. You can go to any park in both
If you're
both
spending
coasts.
$33,000 plus on a goddamn theme park experience, you're a fucking tool.
This is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. You're a
No,
fucking tool.
there's no reason for it.
No.
Like, that's the part that I don't understand. Is like, there's no.
And I'll call him that to his face, and I think I have done in the past.
I'm sure you have. I am 100% sure that you have. It's more the fact that, like, you're paying that much fucking money,
Yeah,
to essentially just hang out in a different part of, like, you're hanging out in a different part of the theme park. You still have to walk through the theme park with everybody else.
Right.
Like, you still have to, like, wait in line like a regular jabroni. So especially right now in pandemic world, like, it doesn't really seem like the benefit would be worth it. But then again, if you have the kind of money that you can just sort of like,
it just makes me
jerk
wonder
off.
how much that motherfucker's making. And again, kudos to you, buddy. You
He
know,
has been, I mean, I will say credit where it's due. He has worked his way.
He has
Like,
worked his way, and he's always been quite kind and nice, and like to any of us when
This
we've
is
seen him at a live show.
This is professional ball busting, is what it is.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely,
and it's friendly, and it's just like, look, if we did something like that, like if I was on national television and I did something that was just like, bro, that was a little bit dick,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Fair
I would
enough.
expect
Yeah.
I would expect any of my friends to call me on that shit as well.
So that aside, we will wrap things up, and been meaning to do
about
this.
him stealing the aesthetic of your show. I'm just saying.
Let's not even go there.
I didn't say it.
That's for another time. That's for my other show, which we'll be doing tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh no Radio Show on a special Wednesday episode. What is it? The Christmas Eve? I guess the
Christmas Eve. Yes.
Christmas Eve show.
Yes, indeed.
Of Oh No Radio Show will be tomorrow, and you can find that on the same Twitch channel as you find this. Ooh,
Whoa.
that was a good burp.
That was.
So do you want to do this? I'm gonna do a quick quiz for you.
Lay it on me.
and see how you do. This is gonna be interesting. We're gonna start with essentially we've got a Hall of Fame a game going on here right now. So we're taking a look at all the WWE Hall of Fames, and we're starting with the class of 1994. And what I'm going to say is basically the person that was inducted, and you have to guess who the person was inducted by.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
And the class of 1994, this is going to be the hardest one, probably. It'll get easier as weeks go by, because we're going to be more familiar with some of these people. So I'll just give you a couple of them, and it's not for any prize or anything like that. It's just a fun little thing that we can do. So, how about Bobo Brazil, a 7-time WWF United States Heavyweight Champion, 1-time NWA United States Heavyweight Champion, also known as or accompanied by, I think it might be Houston Harris. I've never heard of Bobo Brazil before.
I know who Bobo Brazil is.
Okay.
But I know who Bobo Brazil is. Like, that's all I got.
Yeah. Trust me, Duncan, I'm not going to look down on you for not knowing any of these, and you can just be honest with me.
I don't know why my first guess was like Pat Patterson, but he doesn't speak English very well.
It's not a terrible guess, but it isn't.
I don't know. Like
Ernie Ladd.
Ernie Ladd?
Is
Black Cat Ernie Ladd? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Ernie Ladd with Bobo Brazil.
I gotcha.
Okay. Arnold
Scotland.
Scotland. Yes. I always have trouble with pronouncing his last name. That's why I took a minute there to do it. Again, one-time WWF United States Tag Team Champion and longtime manager of Bruno Sammartino and Bob Backlund in WWF.
Was it Bob Backlund?
It certainly was. Good.
Because I know that it
job.
wasn't Bruno, because Bruno didn't come back into the fold until a couple years ago, I know. So,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. You're on the board, though. That's good. That's
Proud of that.
That's impressive. That's good.
I got
That's
one.
Good. You
That's-
got
look,
one.
I'm on the board. Didn't get skunked. That's all that matters.
Buddy Rogers. That's a name that most wrestling fans
Ooh.
will know.
The Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers.
He was a posthumous inductee, one-time NWA.
Posthumous?
Is that
Posthumous, yeah.
Sorry.
Posthumous. I get it. I go back and forth. I always want to say posthumous.
That's what I always want to say. So
Yeah.
He's a one-time, and it means he's dead, and then he got fucking inducted. He's a one-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion and the first WWF World Heavyweight Champion. This one really surprised me. Like,
Was it Vince?
it was not Vince.
Okay. Was it superstar Billy Graham?
Very good guess, but I'll save you the time. It was none other than Bret Hart.
Huh.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Wouldn't
All
have
right.
guessed it. Wouldn't have guessed it.
Sure.
What about, and you'll know this one, Chief J. Strongbow, a four-time WWF/WWF World Tag Team Champion. This one will make sense if you think about it hard enough. 1994, Duncan. 1994, Chief
Was
J.
it
Strongbow.
Tatanka?
Yes, it was. Yes,
Oh
it
my
was.
God damn it.
I gave you a bit of a clue there, but that's
No,
fine.
you did. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah. They went
Of
that
course.
racist. They did.
Yeah, of course they did.
Of course they did.
The actual Indian inducting the non-Indian.
Who do you think inducted Classy Freddie Blassie?
With his filed down teeth.
Oh God, I forgot about that. He held over 30 NWA regional championships, longtime manager in WWF. You'll never get this one. I'm sorry. It's don't waste. I'll tell you this. It's a celebrity not
Inductee.
yeah.
Fucking Pat Sajak. I don't know.
God damn it. That's really close, dude. It was Regis Philbin.
Shit.
Dude, that was really fucking close. I almost want to give it to you just for that. Like, that's really goddamn close. Next on the list, James Dudley. I am not familiar with James Dudley, but apparently he was the first African American to run a major arena in the United States.
Oh.
I did not. I mean, maybe is that where the Dudley boys get their name? Is there some sort of connection there? I'd have to do more research
Maybe.
on that. I don't know.
Maybe. I know the Dudley boys. It comes from Big Dick Dudley, who, in any case.
I would never have. I mean, you have mentioned this man's name earlier in, the guessing.
Oh, am I guessing? Shit. Been hitting this pen. Was it? Who did I say? I said Vince.
It was Vince. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was
so-
like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That makes sense that it would be Vince.
It was. And the last one, and this one you might be able to get. I think you'll be able to get this one, or at least get close. Gorilla Monsoon in the first class in 1994. Of course, a two-time WWF champion, United States Tag Team champion, former WWF announcer, and on-screen president. Who inducted...
Was it Bobby?
It was not Bobby, but you're getting close.
Mean Gene?
Good guess, but no.
Damn it. Let's see. The Gorilla would have been dead at that point too, wouldn't he?
I think he was alive still. I believe it would have said if it wasn't. So
Was it Jesse?
it was none other. If you want one more guess, I'll give you one. But
No,
yeah,
what
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it. I was gonna say I'm going further away unless it was Howard Finkel.
You're very
or
close
Lord
because
Alfred Hayes.
it was an announcer. So at least that you figured that out, that he was definitely an announcer, alongside him at one point. I don't know if they ever worked together, to be honest.
Is it Jim
did they?
Ross?
It most certainly is Jim
There
Ross.
you go. There you go.
They work together, right?
I don't know.
I can't.
I don't know if they ever worked together on screen. I don't think they.
I don't think they did. Now that I think about it, I feel
No,
like
'cause
Jim Ross at the time was like the new Monsoon, and that's why he maybe inducted him, or
maybe.
I don't know.
It was. I know that JR. It was WrestleMania 9 that JR debuted at.
So 9. What year was
that? Was 93.
So the crossover is. Ooh, that's interesting because this is the class of 94. So what?
Yeah.
Can you find out what year, just real quick, the year that Monsoon died?
Yeah.
I'd like to know that just to see if Wikipedia is correct or not.
Gorilla Monsoon. 1999.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Man, that's way later than I thought it was.
October 6th, 1999.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
my anniversary.
He was still alive.
He was.
At least he got to get inducted while he was still alive. That's always nice.
Yeah. Dude, I love Gorilla Monsoon. Gorilla Monsoon
Oh,
was one of my favorite announcers. Him and Bobby Heenan, you really can't do better.
Can't.
Like,
dude, go back and watch a Gorilla Monsoon match, too. That motherfucker was like, that motherfucker was big, and
he was a big boy. Big boy.
Back in the day, Monsoon did what a lot of the big men are trying to do right now.
Yes, exactly. And he, like, people really thought
he was scary.
He was a scary motherfucker back in the day. And dude, his
he worked heel, right? Most of the time?
Yeah, most of the time. And it wasn't until he became a commentator that he was sort of like the face commentator.
That's very true. Yeah.
2 fun facts about Gorilla before we get out of here.
Absolutely.
One, Jesse the Body Ventura used to call him Gino because his name before the WWF was Gino Monsoon.
Huh.
Gino Morella was his original name, so that's why Jesse still called him that.
It's not Italian at all.
Yeah, right. Not at all. His name was Robert James Morella, so no, he was
yeah.
But the second one, his vanity plate on his car was kayfabe.
That's cool. And if you're like this new to wrestling, obviously the gorilla position comes from Gorilla Monsoon.
It is named in memory of Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah, basically the position behind the curtain where wrestlers go in and out. The last stop before you go to the ring, and the first stop you get to when you come through that curtain out of the ring. And Gorilla was the one that obviously always talked to the boys. You did good, or maybe you didn't.
And he would like give them little pointers on their way out and wait for their music to hit and whatever. And like, so Gorilla is a very important place, and it's a very important thing in professional wrestling, and it's befitting of somebody who, I mean,
a fucking legend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't be honest about it.
Can't have wrestling commentary where it is today without Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan.
Absolutely. Duncan, is there anything else you want to mention before we rock and roll out of here?
I hope everybody has happy holidays. Be safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Last show.
Wear a mask.
Is it? Maybe no. Wait. Is it the last show of the year, or are we?
No, we got another one next week.
Yeah, we probably do. We got to do one more. But hey, last show before Christmas. So again, happy holidays. Have a Merry Christmas.
Indeed.
And I'll say this. hopefully we can get our Le Champion back
Le Champion.
back next week. It would be very cool if we could.
He's probably having a not so debonair dinner.
Yeah. We
He
love.
probably hasn't even had lunch yet.
Probably
let's be
had. Yeah,
honest.
he hasn't eaten anything all day. We know him. We love him to death, though. We hope you're back sometime soon, Matthew. And for everybody listening, please tune into the ONW Radio Show tomorrow. That would be really cool. We're going to be over at the same Twitch address, twitch.tv/ONRS Live. Please, find us on Facebook, all that stuff. We got an ONO Wrestling group. We got an ONO Radio Show group. Just do your little, tippy typings and find us on the Googles. Other than that, find, our Patreon at patreon.com/ONRS. If you need a refi or you're looking to buy a house, check out our sponsors. Streamline Mortgage Solutions at streamlineflorida.com. And Duggan, what do we say when we get out of here? Woo! That seemed to go well.
Yeah,
That was
that was good.
I don't know. That show seemed like it flowed quite nicely, and
I thought so.
yeah, a couple good laughs in there, and some.
Yeah, dude, I enjoyed it.
Me too.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it's always interesting. It's not like it's any better or worse when Matthew's with us, but it's different when it's just the two
Yes.
of us. That's the way I would put it, and honestly, we typically, when it's just the two of us, we do a much shorter show.